Hello and welcome back to the Witch's Brew. I'm your host, Amanda, and this week's witchy topic, we are talking about working with and communicating with spirits while the veil is thin. Now, a couple weeks ago, we talked about divination practices and tools in order to communicate with spirits. So this is going to be more of a best practices, my suggestions sort of thing. So really for the last month or so, as this has been posted, really since I guess September, through October 31st into November 1st, the veil has been thinning and will reach its thinnest point again between October 31st and November 1st. So if this is your first time communicating with spirits, or if it's something that you want to give a try or pick up again, this is a really good time to do it. As mentioned in the eclipses episode a little while back, eclipses are also a great time to communicate with spirits because the veil is pretty thin. So, after November 1st, the veil starts building back up again, and then it kind of like waxes and wanes throughout the year. Now, I always recommend the first step is protection. I have a couple protection spells. There are spell jars that you can do. There are different methods on cleansing and protection. I have like a whole episode each for cleansing and another one for protection. So if you are looking for specific things or specific ways to protect yourself, go back and listen to that episode. Again, I'm not a fearmonger. You hopefully know that by now, but it's just good practice because especially in October, you never really know what's going to come through. The trickster spirits are out here. Protection is the way to go. And just like humans, not every person that you meet is going to have your best intentions at heart. Same with spirits and entities that you may be trying to work with. I'll just leave it at that. So if you have someone in mind, be specific. All right. So this is a great time to work with ancestors, to work with deities, things like that. But be specific. Because if you just say, and I'm going to read directly off my notes, if you just say, I would like to speak with or call on John Smith or John, like that's not helpful. All right. You're kind of opening yourself up to a lot of stuff there. So be more specific. So instead of saying that, like, you can say, I would like to speak with or call in John Smith, my great uncle on my mom's side. If you don't know their exact relation, that's fine too. If you know their birthday, that would be great, even better. If you have something of theirs that they had on this earth, that is even better. All right. Chances are, if it's an ancestor, they're probably pretty close to you anyways, but better safe than sorry, especially if you're using things like a Ouija board. So if you are not as experienced working with deities, all right, be specific when you call on certain ones, because some spirits out there will try to masquerade themselves as others. So again, the same thing goes for ancestors. All right. You're going to want to be specific. All right, and you're going to want to leave out offerings if this is your first time working with that particular deity. Now, if you have been working with Hecate for months, there is a lot more safety in that. And you can call on her pretty easily at that point. If something feels off, chances are it is. Okay. If something starts to feel off in a session, trust your intuition. Close it down properly. If you feel like you need a little bit of extra cleansing in your space, honestly, like if something really feels that off, I would definitely cleanse my space. At the very least, light a white candle and ask your spirit team for protection and for cleansing. All right. Ask them to get whatever weirdness came in out. So again, look, if you're trying to work with the deity, look up their specific symbols. Look to see what they like and what they will respond to. All right. And again, some of them have weird things that you learn over time. Like I've been working with Hermes for well over a year now, and I just found out at the beginning of July of this year that he likes Cheez-Its. I don't know. I'm going to use Hecate as an example again, just because I feel like she's, I don't want to say the most well-known, but I feel like a lot of people want to work with her, specifically in October, just because Halloween, witches, witchiness, all that sort of stuff. So some of her symbols are a key, a lantern, ravens, crows, frankincense, red wine, tobacco. Aphrodite would be seashells, mermaids. I know she's hanging around today because I picked out my mermaid shirt. Look up what their symbols are. So like Persephone, pomegranates, right? And leave out an offering of those. It can even be like a picture or like something pomegranate scented. It doesn't even have to be like a full pomegranate. She says even the palm juice is fine. So if you have a picture of a deity or a loved one, that is also really, really great to be using at this time. Again, for ancestors, pictures, fruits, herbs, flowers, trinkets, really for offerings for anybody. A food that they loved, a flower that they loved. If they liked scary movies, leave out, I don't know, some memorabilia or put it on Netflix for them or something. All right. Little things like that really do go a long way, especially when you are calling in your ancestors or calling in deities, things like that. Honestly, with all that being said, this is a really great time of year to be building those relationships because the veil is so thin. All right. Just be cognizant. All right. Cover your bases. Make sure that you aren't calling in something ill-intentioned on accident. I've seen it happen. All right. I've personally had spirits follow me during this time. So generally between the autumn equinox and honestly, I would say the 1st of December, even into Christmas, my guard is up spiritually because I have had things follow me home. I've had things come into my home. I've had things waking me up in the middle of the night to bother me that were not good intentioned. That's why I exercise so much caution around this time. I will be doing a full home cleanse and protection ritual within the month of September. And it's going to take a lot out of me because I'll be 7 months pregnant at that point. I'm going to do it anyways because I know things are going to get crazy this year. And we'll just leave it at that. So, do you need an altar? No. Some witches will say yes. Some say no. I think it's personal preference. I don't have a specific altar. This whole space that I record in is kind of my altar. I have trinkets and knickknacks and offerings just all over the place back there. And they are things that you probably would look at them and wouldn't even know that they're an offering. You would just think they're decor. So it is totally up to you. If you would like to have an altar, it doesn't have to be very elaborate. Keep in mind on social media, things are always going to look better and people are always going to post their best stuff, usually speaking. So you don't have to have this elaborate altar that you change out every month or every season or whatever. If you want to do that, great. If that is part of your practice, wonderful. Not everyone has the time or the space to do that. Not everyone is out of the broom closet yet. I'll leave it up to you. Some great things to have on an altar if you are interested in building an altar would be pictures of ancestors, of deities. Some people have statues of the deities that they like to work with. I would love to get some statues. I know I will someday. Trinkets that your ancestors or your deities like or enjoy or respond well to. A bowl to put out offerings or a little plate. I would recommend putting some candles on there for offerings. A place to hold incense if you are interested in incense. Trinkets that are important to you. Whatever you feel called to put on an altar. Again, my space is pretty ambiguous, so I'm not going to say like you have to have this on an altar because also hopefully by now that's not me. That's not what we're working with over here. Put stuff out that you feel called to. All right, if that is plants, great. If that is flowers, fantastic. If that is a bag of Doritos for your favorite aunt or uncle, fantastic. All right, totally up to you. You really, at this time, as far as spirits and entities that you want to work on or work with, I should say, you don't have to limit yourself to deities or ancestors. This is a great time to work with all beings, we'll say. Sorry, I'm just consulting my list. This would be a good time to work with the Fae. Typically, they are the most active during the summer. But again, since the veil is thin, if you would like to work with the Fae, reach out. Gnomes, brownies, and other house spirits. There are a whole bunch of different house spirits, so look them up. See if you have any. I know that I have a brownie, and I know that I have some Fae as well. I believe I have 2 brownies. This is also a really good time to connect with nature spirits as well. It's a good time to start building a relationship with the trees in and around your property, because you can also ask them to help protect your home and help keep unwanted things out of your home and away from you. Again, when we're talking about otherworldly beings, including extraterrestrials, because again, veil is thin, so it'd be a good time if you want to work with extraterrestrial beings. Great time to work with them as well. But just like with the regular spirits, when you're working with Fae, gnomes, brownies, extraterrestrials, all of that, please keep in mind that not everything has your best intention at heart. Some are more trickier than others. Use your discretion. Chances are, if you are trying to communicate with the Fae in and around your house, they are going to be pretty easy to work with. Some of them can be a little tricky, little tricksters, but overall pretty fine to work with. If you are going out into the woods and making not good choices and finding fairy circles and finding portals, be careful. Many of us have heard the stories. Don't become one of the stories, please. All right. To wrap it up, again, I don't want to scare you away from communicating with spirits, communicating with other beings. But please keep your wits about you. If something feels off, trust your intuition, trust your gut, shut it down, and then cleanse. All right. Probably also do a little bit of extra protection as well. And then try another time. Keep in close contact with your spirit team as you're doing this. I would recommend setting intentions with them beforehand, before you try anything like this. Setting intentions with them could look as simple as, hey, spirit team, hey, spirit guides, I am going to try communicating with blah, 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 whomever. Please keep lines of please keep lines of communication clear and open, and only let in that which has my best intention at heart. And it can be as simple as that. If you want to be more specific, you can certainly do that. Your spirit team will listen to you. Okay. And again, spirit team is like spirit guides, guardian angels. For some of you, like very close ancestors. Like my dad passed in 2017. Although he's not necessarily one of my spirit guides, he's a very close ancestor because him and I were very close in this lifetime. And he is part of my spirit team now. All right. So just use your discretion, communicate with your spirit team, cleanse, protect. And honestly, I think you'll be fine. All right. I do recommend building relationships with the spirits around you. They can help you out in more ways than people give them credit for. So I love you. I hope this helps. And let me know how it goes. I'll see you next week. Bye.